So in this video, we will be taking a look and we will be understanding the low risk building criterias. We will be understanding what criterias a building or application needs to fulfill so that it can be considered a low risk building. And these are the 6 criterias that one structure, one application needs to have, needs to fulfill for it to be considered a low risk building. And if it do not comply to even any one of this these 6 criterias, it will be considered a other than low risk building. So going forward, we will be discussing each and every point in detail. So the first point is that on a plot which is part of the layout approved by the authority or developed and allotted by the government or statutory bodies, or is a final plot in the town planning schemes or development schemes. So the first point says that the layout of the plot that on which you are developing the structure, it needs to be approved by your authority or developed by the authority, or it needs to be allotted to you by a government or a statutory body, or it has to have a place in the final town planning schemes or development scheme. The second point is that the size of the plot should not be more than 500 square meters. The entire size of the plot should not be more than 500 square meters, or if the plot size of the plot is more than 500 square meters, it won't be considered in a low risk building. The height of the structure must not be more than 10 meters. For a structure, for a building to be considered a low risk building, for application to be considered in the low risk criteria, the height of the structure has to be less than 10 meters. The structure cannot have a basement. It has to be without a basement, and it should not fall under any of the following project types. So if these are the 6 project types, and your structure should not belong to any one of these 6 for it to be included in a low risk building. That these project types are assembly buildings, special buildings, public, semi-public, institutional building, storage and warehouse buildings, industrial buildings, and hazardous occupancy. Sixth, last but not the least, project should not require fire NOC as per fire regulation norms. Even if your project satisfies all the above 5 pointers, but the project needs a fire NOC according to the fire regulation norms, it won't be considered as a low risk building anymore. So the project has to comply to all 6 of these pointers for it to be considered as a low risk building. And if it do not even satisfy even a single pointer among these 6, it will be considered as a other than low risk building.